Hello, and welcome to Pammy Monjaro Journey with Pam. And if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to the replay crew. Now I'm going to do the daily 50 and then we'll do 30 minutes of movement. I've been following along with Twan's current challenge of the 30 days of movement. I know she's doing a ride and it is oh, what do we call that? I forget the actual name of the challenge, but if I once I look it up, we'll put it in the comments. So we're gonna do the daily 50. And if you're new to me, my name is Pammy, and I have been on a wellness journey for 3 years. I use Manjaro, I eat mostly low carb, and I get movement in, and that's what I've done to lose 165 pounds. Um, I had weight loss surgery 25 years ago, so the combination of gastric bypass and Mounjaro has been really helpful to me. So, um, yeah, and if you have had surgery, I do want to encourage you to look for other options if you're experiencing weight gain because I feel like I wasted my 40s because I did not look for help or didn't know that there was other tools out there when I had regained the weight. And so now I'm like making up for lost time and so happy to finally have some medication for obesity and know that obesity is a disease, which I'm also reading the new book with Oprah and Dr. Anya about the enough. And so maybe depending on what's going on, I might be hungry. It's going to be dinner time. Over here, we're Pacific Standard Time and it's 4:55. So let me know in the comments if you're watching as you join in. And I don't seem to have the option to show comments on the screen. So we're going to go ahead. One of the things that one of the reasons why I'm doing a live is that I'm out of memory on my phone, so I can't even record videos. And I've been doing, I think I did 9 or 10 days of the daily 50, and I've been wanting to, continue that. So that's why we're going to do a live with it. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. So let's go. All right. So with the daily 50, the first thing that you're going to do is a push up, and we're doing modified. I'm doing the modified version of push ups. So I have a kitchen counter right here, and you're going to put your feet back, lean into it, and then put your chest to the countertop. Find your comfortable position. Everyone's going to be different. And we're going to count to 10. So that was two, we have three, four, wish we could have some music, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. I know my husband's going to be wanting to have dinner soon, so we're going to hurry this up. All right, and then we're going to do squats. And you're going to, when you come up, I want you to squeeze your glutes. I'm not a fitness coach, but this is a years of experience doing this. I'm a health teacher, but that does not mean that I'm a certified health coach or a physical fitness coach. Okay, so we're going to sit down. Like your whatever is comfortable to you, your level, right? Like you're gonna sit in a chair, like you tap it. If there was a chair back there, we would tap it, okay? And then when you come up, you're gonna squeeze the glues because we're gonna work with, especially if you're on a GLP-1, we're experiencing sometimes muscle loss, especially when we do lose weight a little bit faster. And some people lose weight faster, some people don't. I feel like I still lost an average of 1 to 2 pounds a week. In the beginning, there were slow times where I didn't lose a whole lot, especially in those first 6 months. And I was climbing up in my dosage until I got to 10 milligrams, or even at 7.5, I lost some. But man, once I got to 10 milligrams, that was my sweet spot. I stayed there for 10 months and I was pretty consistent on losing, although it was never linear, it was always wiggling down. So up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's why I like having that data. I tracked my weight, took my weight first thing in the morning. So we're going to do a lunge. We're going to do five on one side and we're going to do front lunges. And don't overextend your knee. You're going to bend it down. So we're bending down like this. Bend out your legs straight down as much as you can. If you can see your form, that's really good. Okay. So So I weighed every day and I weigh in the morning on an empty stomach after going to the bathroom and just with underwear on or a birthday suit. Okay. Sometimes when I talk, I forget what number we're on. So that I have to do more. Okay. We're going to do one, two, and, be careful if you have any knee injuries. I have arthritis in my knees, but the GLP-1 has really helped with the inflammation. My left knee is more my problematic knee, and so I can't really extend it back very much. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do, so we did push-ups, squats, and then before we go over to the hallway to do the wall sit and the plank, we're going to go ahead and do our hi Mia. Oh, so glad you're here. How you doing today? What you been up to? Okay, so we're going to do the modified. And so, yeah, so I have my left knee is my problematic knee. Is so much better now though, with the inflammation being gone from GLP-1, from Manjaro. And hey Mia, oh, Oki's Eden. Hello, welcome, welcome in. Welcome in. So we're doing modified push-up and we do 10. What I'd like to do is do a round of 10, 10, 10. And then the 10 seconds wall sit, 10-second wall plank, and then do it again 4 more times. And you can do this at different times of the day that meet your schedule. And that's your strength training, getting those muscles so that we can work on muscles for longevity. And you want to modify wherever you need based on your current um, physical abilities. Okay. And as I talk, I always forget how many I'm on. Mia says, "You are so dedicated to your challenge." Oh, thank you, Mia. Yeah, funny thing, I was talking to another health teacher today. We had our health teachers meeting, and so I'm gonna do some squats. And we were talking about having PCOS and having the challenge of losing weight. Um, what else did she say she had? I think, oh, they were trying to make sure she didn't get diabetes because it runs in her family. And she's young, she's in her 30s. And the doctor put her on metformin when she was like 18. It's like, wow. And I think she was also having to do birth control pills just to have a period. It was like, that's one of those things with PCOS, your hormones. So go all the way back, like you're going to sit down on a chair. Okay. And so she said the doctor kept increasing her metformin until she said she just started feeling sick. And she's like, I'm not taking this anymore. And so I was like trying to carefully tell her to, like what my journey's been. And so we were walking out to the car. And yes, I told her my history of having gastric bypass. I'm going to do back lunges, how I had gastric bypass 25 and a half years ago, lost weight like 150 pounds, and then eventually regained, and how I became, well, I had recommitted and started walking and eating low carb and lost about 45 pounds, which was the most that I've ever really lost um, without it being like right after surgery or something. And she said, same thing with her. She would lose 25 pounds. And then that's where she would end up stopping. And I was like, that's me too. I'd always get to 25 pounds. And that was all that I could um, do on my own. But this time I had gotten to 45 pounds and then it kind of stalled. And I went into the doctor and found out that my A1C was 6.0. And my doctor was like, oh, you, you need to do something about this. Family history of type 2, diabetes. And she saw how I struggled. So she put me on metformin. And then within 2 weeks, my daughter said, "Hey, mom, my coworkers are, taking a GLP-1 Mounjaro. I want to ask about it." And then that's how I ended up starting it. Contacted my fabulous physician's assistant. She said, "Sure." She sent in the prescription. And so now we're going to do round three of push ups. Hi. Oh my gosh. It's Low Carb Queen. Hi. Welcome. Man, I've got all the heavy hitters in the house tonight. I've got Mia's in the house, Oki's Eden, and now Low Carb Queen. Wow. And doses of Shawnee. Shawnee, I was just watching your video this morning too. I love your braids. And Doses of Shawnee, we're over here on the West Coast, but Doses of Shawnee is a lot farther from me. Her being up in the northern part of California, and I'm at the very end of Central California, just before it becomes considered Southern California. So we're right over the mountains from Los Angeles. But yeah, so we were talking about, I said, yeah, when I was younger, yeah, me and my sister both had PCOS. She said her and her sister had PCOS too, and they had to use hormone, like birth control to even have a period. I was like, so did I. And so, yeah, so she's trying to get her insurance um, worked out because she's a new teacher. And let's see, squats. And so she's, going to see what her options are. And I just let her know that what I was doing so that it didn't seem foreign because I don't know, sometimes I wonder if my other fellow health teachers, or have negative thoughts about it. We talked a little bit today about HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and how one of them said her knee pain went away once or lessened when she went on hormone replacement therapy. And she was on estradiol, the patch. Um, so yeah, I think it's one of those conversations. It's weird. Like you kind of wait, see how they know. I'm pretty sure I know that I've told them, but I just kind of fill out the crowd to see, what, how much I can what I feel comfortable saying without maybe getting negative comments. I don't know. So just waiting. This I don't really talk about a whole lot, um, but they've always congratulated me on my weight loss. I wish I could put comments on the screen, but it seems like on StreamYard, Felicia Marie B on the West Coast too, making dinner. You know what? That's the next thing I'm going to be doing is making dinner. We went to Olive Garden for lunch. We had soup and salad. Oh, thank you, Felicia. You're seeing the clean side because overall there it's kind of messy, and over here it's kind of messy, and I need to clean my stovetop. So that's going to be doing today. Look at Doses of Shawnee is saying hi to Low Carb Cape. Can you guys see each other's comments? Maybe you can because you can see who's here. Or can you? Let me know. Can you guys see each other? Your comments? Oh, so guess what, Low Carb Queen? I actually teach health. I became a health teacher this is my sixth year teaching health to high school freshmen. And when I started, I was the 310-ish to 13-pound teacher. And it was always embarrassing, like for me, that here I am a health teacher. I became a health teacher. I spent 20 something years as a school counselor, college counselor, went into high school, did counseling, and then the high school system wants all their counselors to finish their teaching credentials. So I did that and I enjoyed the classroom. And I felt like I could be more active if I stayed in the classroom because I would actually have a real lunch and I could go for a walk. And when I was a counselor, we were just always bombarded and not able to really take a true lunch. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to stay in the classroom. Got my teaching credential all cleared. So you can see each other. Oh, good. I'm surprised. I wish I could see what it looks like on the other end. I forget. But I wish I could do one day when I was using my laptop, it let me do the comments on the screen and I was using StreamYard and I wasn't paying for it. So I don't know why that day, like, is it different on a desktop versus a phone using StreamYard? I was going to try to use YouTube Studio and I couldn't get it set up right. All right. So I forgot if I did push ups, but that was 3 rounds. Let's do round four. Okay. So yeah, this is like me driving. If I'm talking and driving, I forget certain turns. So this is me talking and chatting. So I didn't know if there was anybody live today doing any YouTube lives. Yeah, yeah. And then low carb queen. So I, um, so yeah, I got my master's degree in school counseling in 2004, three, four, and worked at the university. Then I went over to the community college and then went to high school. And it's funny, had so much, just took my experience with me and all the different programs that I worked with, and including like career education. And then later, I even went back to school and earned a postdoc certificate on testing adult students for disabilities. And so I got a certification. So now I can help. I can work in that department. So that's 2 nights a week. I work at the college, and I look at their documentation and give them accommodations to help them um, be able to be successful in their college classes. So we're doing squats. We're doing a rotation of 10 each, but as you can tell, I forget my count, and sometimes I do more than 10, but you guys only have to do 10 if you're doing any of these, or you might watch the replay later and do them. So it's like you do whatever you can do, your ability. I try to remember to squeeze the glutes on my way up and go all the way down, like if I'm gonna sit in a chair. And these are good weight bearing strength training exercises. I know 3 years ago, before taking Mounjaro, I got my DEXA scan and it showed that I had osteopenia, which is before you get osteoporosis. And a lot of that is because I had gastric bypass. And so I have I get malabsorption. I don't absorb vitamins as well as somebody who doesn't, because my intestine got rerouted. And yeah, and then I wasn't good at taking my vitamins the whole last 25 years. So making up for it, I have to do calcium and weight bearing exercises. So this is great for weight bearing exercises. All right. And I forgot how many I did already. It's always the funny part, right? All right. So three, four, it's probably a lot more than I needed to, right? Okay. So, yeah, so I've been watching other people who um, do go through, and they were talking about the weight bearing exercises. Now, whenever I say I'm a health teacher, I'm not like a certified health coach, but I went through the credential program, and we all work together to meet California standards on teaching. And um, wait, I need to do lunges now. So let's do back lunges. Um, and we cover things like our intro to health is about washing your hands and the importance of taking care of your body and brushing your teeth and flossing and sleep hygiene. Um, and then we learn about pathogens, the four main pathogens, and bacteria, fungus, um, viruses, and parasites. And then I'll forget a bunch of stuff right now. Then we go into the whole lesson about diabetes, heart disease, learning about which are the number one killers of adults and teenagers. So for adults, heart disease is the number one killer. It's like 610,000 adults die a year in the United States from heart disease. Second for adults is cancer. And the second most common cancer in adults is skin cancer. So we do go in depth about skin cancer. We talk about using SPF and protecting yourself with hats, sunglasses, and long sleeves. Um, then what else do we do? The main topics are intro to health, personal and community health. Right now, we're starting nutrition, which is my favorite topic now. And did you guys know? So this is something that I heard it on the radio, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" So we went from the old 1992 pyramid, the food pyramid, the triangle, where the most amount of food back in 1992 the amounts that you were supposed to eat most of were carbs and grains. That was at the bottom of the pyramid. At the top, I remember, like fruits, vegetables, protein. Maybe protein was at the top. It wasn't like it was carb heavy. Now, then we went into what's called the my plate. Half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. Half of your plate should be protein and complex carbs, and then a portion dairy, your milk, your dairy, and healthy fats. Now the government has come up with a new food pyramid, and it's inverted. It's an upside down triangle, and it actually says to focus on protein. I want to go through the website of what we were learning today and maybe do like a screen share. So focusing on proteins first, and it does say high quality proteins. And then it mentions to have 1.2 to 1.9 grams of protein for every kilogram. So we're going to have to teach the students how to take their weight, divide it by 2.2 to get their kilogram. Mine ended up being like about 65.9 or something. So I said 66. And then if I multiplied it by 1.2, that's only like a little over 60 grams of protein, which is not enough. So I was like, okay, let's look at right in the middle. Let me like 1.5 grams of protein or 1.6 multiplied by your kilogram weight to give you your recommended protein grams per day. So there's that in there. Fruits and veggies. So veggies are now servings per day, and complex carbohydrate. Hi, Paula. Welcome to the chat. And Paula says hi to everyone. So complex carbs. What would it say? I think 2 to 3 servings per day. I believe that's what it was. So we're learning about the new food pyramid so that we can teach the kids, and we're just now starting our nutrition units. So they always try to give us updates right before we teach that. And yeah, so I was like, I did like a lot of the information. I don't like the website, but I liked a lot of the information about how it talks about having whole foods. They're really pushing for whole foods, less processed foods, proteins first, high quality proteins, it said. Um, we know that it's better to eat full fruits and vegetables and not to juice it because of all the fruits and the fiber, the vitamins and minerals and stuff that you're getting from your food. So yeah, so that was one of our main topics today in our health teachers meeting, was about the new food pyramid. So I thought I'm going to learn a little bit more in detail, and then I want to do a video about it or a live and show what it has on there. So think, what is it called? The new food. So it's a government thing. But anyway, so yeah, so that's I liked the information. I didn't like the website because it wasn't very interactive. I think some, people are going to get frustrated with the website from the government. So, but I do think that I hope they can take this information and change even some of the food at the schools. Oh, and then they even said for dairy, the high fat, like fat milk, not low fat. So I was like, oh, are they going to start switching over to whole fat milk now? We'll see. So, yeah, so that's so far, um, from what I've seen today, I do like the new food pyramid because I feel like that's how we're eating right now, focusing on proteins first, 2 servings of fruit, 3 servings of vegetables per day, complex carbohydrates. It says to eat whole foods, whole wheat, whole oats, like whole complex foods, and but it did say full fat milk or dairy, so that was interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how that all plays out. Um, but yeah, the website is not very user friendly. Okay, so we're going to do one more set here of the modified push-ups. So I'm right here at my kitchen counter, right here. It's kind of dark, and yeah, I'm hiding the mess. I'm showing the clean side. So I'm definitely going to be cleaning the kitchen today. Did you know you could do this? You could do your touch and then clap, hold in your stomach. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to hold in my abs. So yeah, guys, guess what? I'm gonna go Monday down to Los Angeles. I booked my Amtrak ticket today because I don't like to drive down in LA traffic. And not everybody's available. My husband's not available. My daughter's not available. And I'm gonna go see another plastic reconstructive surgeon to see what else could I get done and maybe have insurance pay for it. Yeah, is that because the lower fat milk has additives or more sugar? It could be. Maybe that's why they're saying that. Um, is we were like, like one person was really puzzled um, because they usually do low fat, and he felt like we should have the low fat. But I said, probably what you have to really worry about is, get your milk from a grass fed cow. Um, like the milk that we get, Fairlife, it's ultra filtered. I think that's a good option. For my family, they don't like low fat, so I always get the red one, the full fat anyway. Not that I eat it because I would drink it. I'm not a milk kind of a person. I forgot. Did I do 10 yet? I was doing the clapping. Okay, probably, right? Okay, so let's do 10 squats. Okay, so we're squeezing the glutes. Pretend if you had a chair, you could put your chair behind you. I need to start working on my abs because since my skin removal, I have a little bit of skin right here that's loose. I had the hernia right here, and then I had the panelectomy, and the insurance paid for that. Especially, they do pay for the panelectomy. I know with the PPO insurance for Aetna, Anthem, Blue Cross, for teachers insurance. Thankfully, they cover my GOP, my Manjaro for diabetic maintenance. So I've been really lucky. So try to see what could I possibly get done? Because I had gone down to see like a regular plastic surgeon and they did a pre-authorization and it came back that everything was medically necessary because of excessive weight loss. But they said they couldn't tell how much the insurance would reimburse them. So I'd had to pay up front and then request a refund. That means you got to go take out a loan, pay all that money. So it's going to be portions, and I don't know how much I actually will get done, but we'll see. I'm just curious. It's just a consultation. Um, okay, so now let's do. My husband's gonna. He's ready for dinner. So we're gonna do front lunges. So we'll do 5 on each leg. Okay. I'll come back to the chat here in a minute. I'm not sure who is still here, but feel welcome to chat in chat amongst yourselves too. So, yeah, so we had a 2-hour fog delay, and Pammy here does not read her emails before going to work. I was just focused on how I was going to a house teachers meeting, which is training, professional development, and but it got really foggy, and I thought, man, it's foggy, but I didn't think about, I wasn't going to school, didn't think about it, and even though I could barely see, yeah, all the schools in our area had a 2-hour fog delay. And so what I do, I decided to go live and read a couple of pages out of the Enough book. And I think I barely even just read chapter one. So I am really behind on that book. But so far, they've talked about Dr. Anya, her dad, watching her parents coming from, I think it was like Russia or Poland, a European country. I feel like it was like the Soviet Union, I believe. And um, and how food was there was food scarcity, and her mom enjoyed cooking. She showed her love through cooking. um, Dad was the worker, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and they eventually, as they got older, both mom and dad were overweight, and both ended up with type 2 diabetes. And her older brother, yeah, older or younger, I forgot, Her brother was overweight to where he got made fun of a lot. She and the family did not have a weight issue, but she saw her family and she said, she knows that her parents did not choose to have the disease of obesity. Um, but I think she did mention like her dad and I think even her brother, um, like they had that food noise. They always thought about food, where's the next food coming from? And it could have started with parents having that food insecurity and how it transitioned from there. Then it talks about people who were on Oprah's different shows, the podcasts and stuff. I'm going to take you guys over to the front room and we're going to get on the walking pad. Sound like I'm out of breath. Oh, yeah, Paula, I have to finish dinner. Oh, yes. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate you being here. I know. I'm going to do my walking and then I'm going to cook dinner too. So thank you, Paula. I appreciate you. And have an amazing Thursday evening with your family having dinner. Tell me, what are you making tonight? I might need some ideas. Okay. If you're not already gone, hopefully you can tell me, what are you making tonight? I'm thinking about making my taco meat. Okay, so we're gonna do the modified plank and I'm just gonna do it one and done. So we're gonna go here, tilt forward and count to 50. But you know what? Let me do a timer. Hey Siri, set timer for 50 seconds. Okay. All right. Here we go. So there, and then there's this lady named Alice, and she was a audience member, and it talks about her experience with obesity, talking about how she just never enjoyed shopping for clothes because she could never find anything that would fit her. And, same kind of struggles with, always thinking about food. And then she was in the Y Health, um, some research. She was in a trial for tirzepatide, and this is before tirzepatide was available. So okay, so that's 50 seconds. Let's do it again. Okay, and we're gonna try to get into a 90-degree angle right here. Okay. Um, I don't know if it did it again or not. Let's see. No, not the alarms. Let's see. Hey Siri, set timer for 45 seconds. Since we've already done 10 seconds anyway. And so it wasn't until she started GLP-1 she lost weight. I mean, no, she was on the tirzepatide study with the Y Health, which is the Yale Health, and Dr. Anya was in that. She was one of the doctors in the study. That's weird. Is it 50 seconds? Guess so. Okay. And um, then at the end of the study, she had to go off of the medication for a month and she gained uh, 12 pounds. And then she was feeling, awful about gaining those 12 pounds. Okay. And let's get this started. Oh, actually, so now let me go ahead and time the 30 minutes. So I'm going to do indoor walk. This is because Tracy's a Twan, but Tommy's Fit Girl Life, is that how I say it? Tommy's Girl Fit Life. She's doing 30 minutes of movement. Okay. Let's see. It says I'm live now. It looks like it's a little bit behind. Okay, here we go. So I don't know, that phone, oops, the phone is a little bit on the low side. So let's go ahead and get started on 30 minutes. Oh, you know what I should do? Actually, let me put the phone on a tripod. I'm rubbing my foot. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and put my phone on the tripod. Right, so Paula, oh, okay. So Paula had to hurry up off and make dinner. All right, so let's go ahead. You know, the walking pads, they don't move as fast as a treadmill. So I have to put mine up. This is 5 right here. And one of my coaches over on Pop Recovery, she says you should put your watch around your ankle, but I didn't do that today. I didn't think about that. And I always have to hold on because I will talk and I'll be walking off to the side, and we don't need to have a catastrophe on YouTube. Okay, how can I get rid of these shadows? I have a light. It's just that it's blinding. All right, let's see. So yesterday I got my hair done and I got some, I said, let's go for some beachy waves. Now the fog, the misty fog kind of messed him up a little bit, but I guess that's still kind of like a beachy look. So what are you guys doing tonight? What are you guys eating for dinner? We need to make dinner still and haven't decided what to make for dinner. I've got ground beef, I've got chicken. So my go-tos are typically make taco meat and then make it into something. So I have some vegetables. I could do, I don't have lettuce for taco salad, but um yeah, so I don't know. I have to think of something like, do I do a pasta? Which I kind of avoid, I don't do a whole lot of that. Grant Campbell, hello. Hey Grant, tell me again, you have 2 interviews out, right? Because I went back and I was like, shoot, I need to go back and watch Grant's interview. So you had an interview with um was it with the downsized? Wasn't there 2? Let me know. Tell us in the chat. Where did you get interviewed at so we can watch your video, the replay? I got busy and then I wasn't feeling good, got sick, and I totally forgot to go back and watch, and I want to see. Full disclosure, honesty. So yeah, I need to start. Oh, now I can see comments on the chat. Okay, maybe that's what it was. Okay, downsize and anchor moments. Oh yeah. Okay. So guys, watch Grant's interviews on the downsized and anchor moments. Maybe do anchor moments first because she's a smaller channel. Make sure you hit the like button and then do the downsize. So I was watching the update on Dave with the Pen today and talking about the things with terzepatide. Where are you guys going? Okay. To make what? Ooh, lasagna sounds good. Is that for tonight? Oh, cool. I don't have to make dinner. Did you guys take out the hamburger meat so to be ready, or are you just going to get a new hamburger meat or ground? Are you going to get a new ground beef, or do you or use one of mine? Because we have like yeah, okay, because I think we have 6 packages, maybe. Okay, all right. Bye, you guys. Be safe. Yeah, I don't have to make dinner. You're gonna make lasagna, and you know what? So I used to be totally afraid of having carbs. I have another one tonight with Kim J and Tuesday with RMJ with Round Mound with Zet Bound with Charles. Oh, thank you, Low Carb Queen. You're still listening. Thank you. All right. So, what are you guys having for dinner? So, I think we're gonna have. Sounds like we're gonna have lasagna. And I don't have to cook, yay. But it means I'll do the cleaning. And I was gonna go clean the stove first, but you know, when the younger ones are cooking, they kind of make a different mess than us. Uh, so I'll just cook after. I'll clean after that. And I do need to start working on the taxes. Oh my goodness. So it was kind of weird for me today. I got off work a little bit earlier. So Kim, what time is Kim J's interview? Grant, is it Grant, Earl of Grant that we say? Duke, Duke, Grant the Duke. And then Grant says, hey, low carb queen. And Miss Queen, what did you make for dinner tonight? I was looking the other day and I'm like, what is low carb queen making? So I can get some ideas. Kim J is at 9:45 Eastern. Okay, so 9, 8, 7, 6. I still have to do that. Okay, so in 6:30. So we have an hour and 15 minutes, and then go on and watch Kim J. And either she's probably going to be live or live with comments. Um, because did you guys do a pre-recorded interview and then you're going to do a live chat, like a premiere? Is that how that works? Some people do it that way. I need to do more of those. So I have 830 subscribers now. When I went on a minute ago, it said 803 died. So sometimes you lose one here and there. But oh my gosh, I am so behind on watch hours. I lost like 2,800 watch hours because, oh, it's live. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Low Carb Queen says, my daughter made a salmon bowl. So I need to find out about that because I have never, still have not found a salmon or cooked it or ate it somewhere where I really liked it. Low Carb says, hey, Grant. Wait, what's it say? HRU. How are you? My husband doesn't like salmon. I think it's because we've just never had a good prepared, tasty salmon. Like it's come out too dry. Um, for me, if that because I had gastric bypass, I feel like certain foods kind of feel like they get stuck. And so sometimes if I eat protein too much or too fast, it can feel stuck. So I do a little bit at a time and to get that protein in first, but I have to go slow. Um, and Grant says, low carb queen, great. And you, which if you, I guess on the screen, you guys can see it. So I have the big screen TV. Yeah, low carb queen says good things. I have on the big screen TV, I can see the comments. I couldn't tell when I was looking at the phone that you guys could see. All right, so where are we at? I'm going up to 5.5 and just going to do 30 minutes. I probably won't have dinner on time, right after this now, but that's okay. I don't have to make it today. They went to go buy some ingredients. And, but yeah, I used to be really afraid to eat pasta. For the first 2 years of this wellness journey, I really kind of stayed away from pasta. Um, but I did try like the protein pastas. Like there's an orange package. It starts with a B, but it's been a while since we bought it. So I'm trying to think. I forgot what it's called, but it's made from pea protein. Frozen barbecued salmon cubes from Walmart. Oh, and then Kim, did she put it in the air fryer to cook it? I guess I should watch the video, right? Yeah, I'm guessing you have a video. So, hey guys, if you want to watch and see how um, Kim, our queen, her daughter made a salmon bowl. She has a video posted. I'm guessing you probably were on live and then you're doing a replay. So guess what? I kind of, how I'm not always live. I still have been deleting videos and pictures, and I still get the thing saying I don't have enough memory on my phone. And I looked at my subscription. I didn't cancel it, the iCloud. I am paying for 2 terabytes a month. And my iCloud has uh 1.5 out of the 2 terabytes available or done. I've used 1.5 out of 2 terabytes, but it's the phone that says that my storage is full, like my apps, like I have too many apps. And I went through all the apps, I deleted a few, but a lot of the apps I like to have, man, that's not terrible. Like, what do you do? My, I remember when I got this phone, I made sure to get the higher memory. And this is a 15 Pro, Apple 15 Pro. Oh, no video? Wait, low carb queen. Your daughter made the salmon bowl and you didn't record her? Oh no. It's a frozen barbecued salmon cubes from Walmart. You know what? I am going to buy that. I'm going to go try that out. Because then it's cubed. I bet you could probably I'm guessing probably put it in the air fryer. And everybody has like different seasonings that they put on their salmon. And I think I bought, if I didn't already, I'm going to go buy some cottage cheese for the Super Bowl. And I'm going to blend it up in my Cuisinart to blend it up at the food processor. And I'm going to do one where I put in half or a full avocado, some cilantro, some seasonings like garlic. And then we'll cut up some bell peppers into like long strips where you can just do finger foods and dip it. And I'm thinking of doing like a charcuterie tray. So I'll have some Genoa salmon, some olives, and a couple other veggies that we can dip. And I'm not going to probably make a lot because most likely I will be the one eating that because not everybody follows my low carb stuff in my house, unfortunately. And I think what we'll do is get some wings and air fry some wings. I think that, or drumsticks, sprinkle some lemon pepper on them and let them marinate for a little bit. Put them in the air fryer. My husband makes that and it tastes good. Um, so lemon pepper, little drumsticks. That'd be a good finger food. And last year I made, I probably will make it again, is I'll take some of that cream cottage cheese and we could do a buffalo chicken and then that, or I'll just use the cottage cheese before I put the avocado and put a ranch seasoning in it. Put that into scooped out jalapenos. I cut my jalapenos in half, scoop out all the seeds and the white veins to take out the heat. And then I put the cream. So it's usually cream cheese, but we'll see. I'll have to look and see if the cottage cheese is not thick. I'll add some cream cheese to it, and then wrap it in with the bacon. And you know what? I still eat bacon. I've eaten bacon this whole entire 3-year wellness journey, and I know it's not a healthy fat. It's not a healthy animal fat, but hey, I like bacon, and I know that pigs are bottom feeders, but I like bottom feeders. I like pigs, get food from pigs. I like shrimp. Um, so if I ever followed like eating from the Old Testament, I would fail miserably. But yeah, I have stuffed. I love stuffed peppers. We used to call them, oh yeah, poppers. Yeah. So we would call them poppers too. But most of the time, I feel like the poppers had like a breading coating on them. Like you would dip them in egg and then put a breadcrumbs on them. So low carb queen, I remember hearing you talk about like we were talking about surgery and how when I was talking to Shay Didi about surgery, what I did, one of the things that I've been noticing when I was in the doctor's office doing my follow-up for my belly button procedure, because they couldn't do the belly button during my hernia surgery, but we went back in December and got it done. Um, I heard them over the phone saying, yeah, panellectomy with weight loss. And so then I went over and I talked to the ladies and I find out a lot of insurances are paying for the panelectomy, and that's your lower tummy. Um, I would go to my doctor and I requested medicine for a rash. And you know, it's so funny. They never did get my prescription correct. So, but anyway, I took pictures. Nobody ever asked me for my pictures. And when my surgeon put in, I think both surgeons that I saw, they had did the pre-authorization and insurance didn't even bat an eye. Like it said approved medically necessary due to excessive weight loss. So that whole bottom stomach is called a panelectomy. I guess maybe that's considered a tummy tuck. I don't know if that's actually considered a tummy tuck, but the insurances don't call it that. They call it a panelectomy. Let me type that. Let's see. Panelectomy. And so, and I hear that it's hard to get your arms approved for pay for them to pay it. Let's see, panelectomy, but they might do like a breast reduction. I don't know if I spelled it right. Let's see. What was your weight? Okay. Okay. So I started my weight loss journey at 313. Oh, and then when I went in for the surgery, I was I was about 153. Although the day of surgery, I was like 156. I was constipated going, and I was like, dang it. But anyway, I was hanging around between 150 to 153. And I did find out that now, although my doctor, I don't know, they never talked about BMI. My coworker, I said, hey, call this doctor's office and ask about it because um, I'm hearing them talking to all these people and they're saying that they're covering it. So he called and found out that his BMI needs to be 41. Is that right? 41? So he has a few more pounds to lose and then he can get it covered too. He wants it done. Hey, sweetie, Jordan and Zayden went to the store to get food and they're going to make lasagna. um, so, yeah, so, and he's a type 2 diabetic and also on a GLP-1. So he had a little pause in his weight loss taking care of his wife after she had some skin removal surgery, but he's back to his routine. His lifestyle changes again, and just has a few more pounds to lose to get to the requirement. So I was I I guess every doctor probably has a different requirement, and so that's always a good thing to ask is what the BMI is. I will check it out. I was told my BMI has to be in the 40s to get hernia surgery. Hey, so low carb cream, do you have a hernia? Because that was the biggest reason why it was so easy for me to get my surgery because I actually had a hernia before because I had the open gastric bypass 25 years ago, 25 and a half years ago. And I had hernia surgery. Then 5, 6, 7 years after that, I ripped it open again inside. It's like that internal skin lifting up heavy kids, dogs, things, um, and weight gain pushed it open again. The mesh was still in there. I don't know where it was, like if it rolled back, I don't know. But I thought it was big enough to where I wouldn't have any problems because at that time the mesh was like this. So anyway, when I saw a hernia specialist, I saw a couple different doctors, and I decided to go with the doctor who had experience working with bariatric patients who had gastric bypass or the sleeve. He knew my anatomy. He even knew my hernia doctor, who also does bariatric surgery, but he's on medical leave. And um, when he was talking about the surgery and talking about whether it was going to be laparoscopic, I said, hey, um, could we take off some of this excess skin? The moment I said that, he said, his eyes like lit up. It was like I had to actually say it. He couldn't suggest it to me, but he said, if he's like, I can work with a plastic reconstructive surgeon at the same time. And if he cuts you open, it'll make it easier for me to go in there and see everything. We'll take out the old mesh. He said, because I'm a bariatric surgeon, I will look to see if anything needs to be repaired from your gastric bypass. I'll fix it while I'm in there. And then we'll put in a new mesh. They put a 10 by 10. This whole area, I guess I have like an internal girdle now. So I have 10 inches by 10 inches now inside. And I was scared because I thought when I had my hernia surgery, they said my liver was stuck to something. They had to like burn the liver off. So I knew things were going to be like scar tissue and stuck. So they did really good. So the vertical incision starts from about right below the sternum, right here, and it goes down. Um, Probably that would be maybe 4 inches below the belly button. So down this lower part, And then, so that allowed them a good view. And guess what? While he was in there, the hernia specialist said, I had a little section that I guess when you lose weight, the intestine can get loose or something happens in there. And my intestines were trying to get stuck up into this other hole. So he fixed that hole. So it was really good that we had the open surgery. So I can't remember if it was like 10 inches vertically. But yeah, he said, I told him to recommend a doctor that he works with because I'd rather them know each other and work together. So he referred me to a doctor. It took me 3 months to go in there and see him. And then I was vetting out another group, did that. And then I said, okay, I feel comfortable with my doctor, Dr. Han, um, hernia specialist, also a bariatric surgeon, and Dr. Brazio, who's a plastic reconstructive surgeon. And they're out of the group that works in the hospital of Cedar Sinai. And Cedar Sinai is covered under my insurance, as well as UCLA, so Los Angeles hospitals. So you look in the formulary, both surgeons are in network. And because they're in network, I didn't have to pay up front. And I have a $1,000 deductible. And how long have I been? 22 minutes. Okay. I have a 1,000 per year out of pocket maximum deductible. Is that what you call that? Out of pocket maximum 1,000. And I through all my appointments through the year, like getting an MRI of my stomach. Oh, that was fast with all the different doctor's appointments and stuff. I had met that deductible. And um, so then going into the surgery by August, I was paid up. I didn't have anything else to pay for. So, yeah, so I didn't have anything. And then when I asked about my belly button, they said, oh, since you're already paid up on your deductible, we'll hurry up and get you in before the end of the year. So I went in on December 18th. I thought it was 19th, but my paperwork does say 18th. And they made a belly button. This doctor is amazing. My scars are so thin. And he took 7 hours on the surgery. Both surgeons, they worked together sometimes. Sometimes they took turns. They took breaks. And the anesthesiologists were good. Two ladies on that team. Had this huge team. And it was the best surgery I've ever had. And I've had a couple gastric bypass, original hernia surgery, two kidney stone surgeries. Um, so yeah, so I've had surgery before, and I tell them about my experiences and stuff. And I had less pain this time. And I think it's because in the surgery, when I read the notes, they put in four um, nerve blocks, which I'm wondering if that's like an epidural, kind of like when you have when you're in labor and you get an epidural shot. But so I couldn't tell if they put it into the spine. I'm guessing that's where they put it. That part I'm not as versed in, but I would imagine. But I was like on my back, so I don't know. I guess they flip you over or do it. But it said 4 times during the surgery they gave me nerve blocks. That made a difference. I could move a lot better with having those nerve block shots. So when we drove home, so I ended up getting to stay in the hospital for 3 days. They were only going to approve 2 days, but my husband needed to work. And I said, hey, transportation, my husband's like 2.5 hours away. Don't want him driving here at night. Can we go one more day? And they found a way to approve it, which I was better for that because I'd rather be there with nurses checking my vitals, having the medical professionals. And that made me feel so much better because that was a huge major surgery. I was so scared. I put it off for 5 years and they wouldn't even operate on me until I lost weight. Um, when I went back to my last office, he said, there's no point in us operating on you if you don't lose weight because it's not going to stay. It's going to push out again. So what does that mean too? That means I had to keep this weight off. So, but yeah, I'm going on Monday for a consultation just to see what this, because there's another doctor in the office who's from France. And if he's covered in the in network, I'm curious to see what other surgeries he does, because Dr. Brazio, the doctor I had, he does reconstructive surgery for hernias and he does breasts. So if people have breast cancer and they're having breast surgery, like he'll ask, do you want to keep your nipples? He'll lift up and, do reconstruction. So that's his other specialty. But he does other reconstructive surgeries too, like facial and stuff too. But I think that's all that doctor can do on me. So I've got to see this other doctor who is new in their office and he's from France. And he's also doing panelectomies for patients who are not there for the hernias. But I want to see, like, okay, what else what could be done? Here's my body. I don't want to do my whole body, but I just want to see um what are some things that could be done that could be covered by insurance, because I definitely always want to be the safe and not put my life at risk. My husband doesn't, he's like, Pam, you do whatever you want to do to be happy um and healthy, but don't put yourself at risk, don't do too much. He didn't say don't, but he just said, how many surgeries are you gonna have? And then I don't want to be vain. I just want, enjoy my body. I do want to see what I can do about my legs. You guys can't see the bat wings because I always cover them up, but um I definitely have that right there. It's a lot. I would not, and it's very wrinkly. Um I don't wear short sleeves in a classroom for sure. But hey, if I couldn't have surgery, I have sleeves that cover it up. And as long as I can wear sleeves to my elbows, I'm comfortable. For me, I don't feel comfortable. I know a lot of our friends are very comfortable with how their skin is. And I'm not to a certain point. To a certain point, I'm not vain about it. It's just um, sometimes I've never been a person who would show my belly. Um, like especially always having a lower belly roll. I never wore like crop tops that would show my belly. It was always like my mom was like, she would have me dress where, you dress for your body size and shape. And so I think I did a pretty good job at it because most people said they couldn't tell that I weighed 300 pounds. So yeah, aw, thank you, sweetie. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for hopping in, Kim. I appreciate you and have an amazing evening. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope, for you that let us know what you find out. But just go in there and start talking to doctors. You don't have to make a commitment, but you talk to them ahead of time and find out what your options are. All right. You have a nice evening. And oh, we're almost done with our 30-minute walk. We have the last minute. Is that for me? Oh, I wonder. That can't. What is it? Huh. That's not coffee. And it doesn't look like a car visor. Let's see. Thank you, Kim. Alrighty, guys. So we're almost at 30 minutes for the walk part. And we've been live for an hour and I want to see Grant Campbell at 6:45 Eastern. Miss LaFay, hi cousin. Hey, are you working today? What's the weather like right now over in Florida? I'll get to go back to the thank you. I didn't know you were in here. Um, I'll get to go to the ocean this weekend, and then I'm going to take the train to Los Angeles and go see a doctor about what are the possibilities of having other skin removal and could the insurance pay for it. So we'll see. But yeah, how's it going over there? The daytime here is warming up. So we've been foggy in the morning because it's like 44 degrees. And then it's been like 70 in the daytime. The high has been about 70. So, okay, Lefay says 54 degrees. Oh, thank you for listening in. I appreciate that. So I did the daily 50, and then we're finishing up 30 minutes of walking. Um, I do need to fill up some more water, get my water in. Um, I was thinking about maybe I should read a little bit of while I'm like cooling down and stretching. Maybe I can read a little bit more on the book Enough. Let's do that. But wait, we got to make sure to watch Grant's live with Kim J. So I want to make sure I don't go over. But let's go grab Enough. I'm going to walk around the house a little bit. Because I don't remember what it is. It says fragile, fragile. Ooh, I'm going to need to go to the bathroom soon. Okay. TMI, TMI. All right. So let me go get the book. And I did a live this morning in the car reading a few pages. So let me grab it. And before, let me get some water. 54 degrees. That's not bad, right? It probably feels pretty good. Or does it feel cold? Okay. All right, let's see if I can carry all this back to the room and out of the kitchen. Okay. Yeah, I have to look. So we've been getting down to 44. And then Lafay, oh, how oh, so you're loving the temperature. Yes, I bet. Because it's not humid. All right, let's get comfy. Okay. Getting people sick with motion sickness. Okay. So let me get the lighting over here. Sorry. So Lafay, what is the high temperature? So it's nighttime. What was the temperature today? The high? Oh, but cold to most people. I know. That's the only thing is, my funny thing is today's been the first time that I have felt more warm because kind of funny, more warm than usual because I'm usually the one that's like freezing. I don't know why that is. Like, why have I been feeling warmer? Okay, let me put this phone over here. And okay, I don't want to look like a skeleton, like Halloween. Just trying to get some better lighting in here. And because you know how the shadows like really emphasize like face and stuff. Okay, let's see how that goes. Maybe let me just see the ring. Um, no, maybe that way. So it looks like I have. Oh, I'm have a reflection over there. All right, all right. Let's get comfy. All right, Cousin the Face says, "High was 70. Hey, and we were 70 today too. It's gonna get down to 40. Hey, you guys probably don't get fog though around 1 a.m. So we're gonna get down to 44. And we had very thick fog, but we live in a valley. So you have Los Angeles is 2 hours south of us. And then we're in the San Joaquin Valley, the end part where we have mountains all around the southern part, the eastern part, and the western part, and then it's all north going up to the bay. That's all part of the valley until you get to Madera, Fresno, before you get up into the Bay Area. And you know what? I feel like taking off my shoes. I'm gonna take off my shoes and then Lafay, I don't know if you heard, but Grant is going to be on Kim J tonight, and Kim J is going to interview him. And then he's gonna also be on Round Mound Charles Zetbaum, our MJ. I have to go back and look at the comments to see when did he say that was going to be. Callie's here. Welcome, Callie. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Um, so yeah, I learned a lot today. So we learned about the new food pyramid in our health teachers meeting, and then I gave some pointers and ways like how did I get my surgery covered in case anybody has that same opportunity. But I'm noticing that. So I don't know if I mentioned, but I have a PPO insurance, Anthem Blue Cross PPO, and that seems to make it so much easier to get things done. So if you I know it's the beginning of the year, so you probably can't change it if you don't have that. But if when you're ready to start looking into insurances, I would do that. And then I had a disability insurance called the Standard for teachers, and I wish I would have done more of the American Fidelity. Oh, does it sound like I'm echoing? Let me turn down my TV. Hold on. Okay, I thought it wasn't like that earlier. Okay, so I muted my big TV. Are any of you guys watching, Bridgerton? I watched all 4 episodes of Bridgerton. Enjoy your So this morning I did enough and just a couple pages. So let's hurry up and read a little bit because Grant is gonna be on Kim J, and we don't wanna miss that. Okay, so chapter 2, this one is Chasing Enough. This is the book from, Dr. Anya. I don't know how to say her last name, but she's an MD and a PhD and Oprah. Okay. So, chasing enough, what is obesity and why do I have it? So, I pause for 30 seconds and recenter. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm reading. Okay. And recenter. Oh, should I show you the text? Do you guys like seeing the text when people read? Would it be better to do that? Can I switch out the camera? Let's see. Could I do it that way? I don't know. What's the preference? Or did I just read? All right, let's just start reading. I'm overthinking this. Okay, so I pause for 30 seconds and recenter. And so Lefave, cousin, if this way you can walk, do your work, and you can listen in because I'm going to read you a story. And for those of you who like the calming voice, maybe it will help you to relax for the evening, right? Okay, I pause for 30 seconds and recenter, being before seeing my next patient. Okay, this is Dr. Anya. We have not met before. This is her first visit. I knock on the door and I walk into the clean, spacious exam room at our new center for weight management at Yale. So they have the Y weight, which is Yale weight management. Sitting on the exam chair is Carla. She's exquisitely put together in a beige pantsuit, a teal bag at her feet. According to her chart, she's 48 years old, 5'5". Ooh, I'm just looking at myself to see what I look like. So she's 48 years old, 5'5", and 236 pounds. Also in her chart is her BMI or body mass index, a calculated measurement that is weight in kilograms divided by height in meters squared. Ooh, think of that formula. Good thing we have these charts that we can just look up. Okay. Sorry for like sniffling a little bit there. From walking, it like really opens up my nasal passages after being having that virus head cold last week. Carla's BMI is 39.3 kilograms and or 39.3, which is at the top of the range of class 2 obesity. Hmm. The World Health Organization, the WHO, defined the severity of obesity into 3 classes. Class 1 is defined as a BMI of 30 to 34.9 kilogram. Class 2 is a BMI of 35 to 39.9. And class 3, or severe obesity, is a BMI of 40 kilogram or more. It's important to note that BMI was not designed as a diagnostic tool. It was designed to be a screening tool. Mm, okay. The calculated parameter was initially created as a research instrument used to compare the amount of body fat relative to height across large numbers of people in studies. That way, hundreds of people could be quantitatively, did I say that right? Compared to hundreds of other people. even though they all had different builds. BMI was never intended to be used for decision making for individual patients, yet, this is what has happened. Healthcare providers currently commonly use BMI as a snapshot or a yardstick to screen for and diagnose obesity, owing to its low cost and simplicity, but its clinical use is not without flaws. At the individual level, the measurement does not account for the amount of fat versus lean mass, including muscle, the distribution of fat, where it is located in our bodies. Um, or the sex, age, race, or ethnicity of the adult. In fact, the predecessor, I forgot to tell my watch that I ended my workout. Okay. Um, in fact, the predecessor to BMI was developed in the mid 19th century by a Belgian statistician, astronomer, and polymath, Adolphe Quetelet. Quetelet, who concluded that weight increases at the square of one's height. He based his findings on the Quetelet's Index on measuring Western Europeans in the 1800s. In 1972, Ansel Keys, an American physiologist, coined the term BMI, validating the calculated index by analyzing height and weight data from nearly 7,500 men from 5 countries: US students, executives, and railroad workers, rural Finns and Italian railroad workers, Japanese fishermen and farmers, and South American Bantu men, insurance. So those are the people who were in those countries. So Japanese fishermen and farmers and South African Bantu men, oh, sorry, insurance companies eventually started using BMI, whereas they had previously used weight by height tables according for sex and body frame to determine ideal body weight. And as they recognized that excess weight was a predictor of accelerated mortality by examining longevity data. Wow. So BMI is not without flaws. That's good to hear. We eagerly await the development of additional tools to help diagnose and characterize obesity. That'd be nice. I mean, like, I think about people were smaller back in like 1920s and 40s when you look at all the clothes, the dresses, and sometimes, of course, they were wearing corsets and sometimes they weren't, depending on the style. They walked a lot. They were very much more physical than we are today, but our body sizes are bigger. And oh, and thank you again, Kelly. I was just reading your comment again. Okay, so obviously, my patient Carla is not a white European man. As I learned from our conversation that morning, she's a working mother of three who has a thriving law practice. She came to my office before work to talk to me about her weight. So now defining obesity is the next section. Obesity is actually not a number, and I'm guessing Carla did not make the journey to see me because her weight divided by the square of her height puts her at the top of the class 2 obesity category. She is also not here because the number on her bathroom scale reads 236 pounds. Though this is an objective measure that relates to why she is here to see me. While these numbers may have varying degrees of meaning, my challenge during this visit is to understand how having obesity impacts her life and her health. She is here because she has obesity. The WHO first recognized obesity as a disease in 1948 and currently defines obesity as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. Here, the emphasis is primarily on health and not a number. And this is extremely important concept echoed throughout this book. Notice the definition doesn't distinguish what kind of health, be it mental, cardiometabolic, or orthopedic, respiratory, and any others. It doesn't explain what degree of excessive fat constitutes obesity, address why there is abnormal or excessive fat, or make a judgment as to how the individual with this condition acquired the extra fat. It also doesn't refer to diet or why the person cannot lose weight and or keep it off. I extend this definition thinking of it slightly differently and find it to be to be helpful both for me and for my patients I care for. As a physician specializing in the care of people with obesity, I consider that obesity is a disease where the weight controlling regions of the brain inappropriately instruct the body to store more fat than is healthy or needed. They have that in italics. So this occurs in the setting of an obesogenic, obesogenic environment. I've heard that word before. I just couldn't say it right. You'll note that the focus is on the biology, the physiology of the disease, and includes the brain. This is key as obesity is a neurometabolic disease. A more in depth definition could be that obesity is a chronic neurometabolic disease characterized by the storage of excess or abnormal fat that occurs when the brain inappropriately instructs the body to store more fat than is healthy or needed. Okay. You'll also notice that nowhere in any of these definitions does the word obese appear. Many of us grew up saying and hearing things like Sally is obese or Tony is obese. Many of us might also remember referring to someone with alcohol use disorder as an alcoholic or someone with diabetes as a diabetic. But all of these terms are intentionally and actively being faded out of use because they imply that the person is defined by their disease, not that a person has a disease. We need to make that same change in the setting of obesity and stop using the word obese, moving to person first language. So, always like when you're talking about patients, yeah, it's not that person and the disease that defines them. They are the person that has that disease. Whenever I meet a participant or a patient, I try to get a sense of what words they prefer to use with their disease. They use the words weight or BMI, or do they use the word fat? Are they already comfortable with the word obesity? While I respect whatever my patient's choice may be, I hope that within my lifetime, we no longer use the word obese. Wouldn't it be great if that word was removed from the vocabulary? Instead, we all would say a person with obesity or an individual has obesity. That's really good. So this is around now I'm on page 42. See, there she goes into meeting with Carla and talking about Carla's life. Why do we have fat? So she'll go into, yeah, so talking about fat, macronutrients. That stuff is all up my alley right there. Micronutrients. Um, okay, so this chapter goes to page 57. Okay. So so yeah, I think we'll stop at that point and I think that's a good ending. I like these last couple of words here. Um let me go back to where it was. Oh, they're even talking about ultra processed foods. Okay. Yeah, so going back to wouldn't it be great if the word was removed, obesity was removed from the vocabulary, from our vocabulary, and instead we all would say a person with obesity or an individual has obesity? Okay. I thought there was something else that I ended with. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bathroom break. And in 30 minutes, or less than 30 minutes. Grant is going to be on Kim J's channel, and Kim J's going to do an interview. So I hope you all will watch that. Go to Kim J, and let's see. I'm trying to think if, yeah, but I think most people know Kim J's channel. You can search at Kim J all day, right? Is it Kim? Isn't it Kim J all day? Or am I thinking Kim K? Oops. Um, I just remember Kim J on her tag name. If anybody knows, they could put that in there. But I think a lot of us here know Kim J's channel. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you. Even if you were listening in, that is wonderful. I appreciate you. Oh, and if you are still here and haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Alrighty, guys. We'll see you in the live comments on another channel. And yeah, we'll see when we go live again because I have no memory on my phone, so I can't do videos. So now I'm gonna have to do lives. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.